The universe is full of mystery. Our Earth is but a tiny speck in this unimaginably large universe. Great and powerful civilizations have risen and fallen, and with these civilizations, vast amounts of knowledge have been lost. For example, take a look at this battery that was discovered in ancient Iraq thousands of years before electricity was invented. Or what about this 6,000-year-old ancient Sumerian seal? If you look at the image in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see that it depicts all of our planets surrounding the Sun, with their correct relative sizes and their correct orbits. And keep in mind, modern science has only discovered our complete solar system within the last 100 years. In some cases, sacred knowledge like this has not been lost, but has been suppressed and hidden. As our modern science advances, things that were thought to be impossible, metaphysical, or science fiction are looking more like they could be a scientific reality or possibility. We've now proven that there are parallel universes, multiple dimensions, and communication that is faster than light using quantum entanglement. As science and spirituality advance, they continue to apparently intersect with one another. There is emerging scientific evidence that suggests that your consciousness is directly tied to the universe, and that the universe itself may be entirely composed of consciousness. Yes, you heard me correctly. The universe may actually be a projection of our collective consciousness. Throughout history, scientists and other prominent people have made statements about technology and science that is now widely accepted and used today. Take a look at some things widely considered to be facts in the past, but later proven to be false. Everything that can be invented has been invented. Charles H. Deuschle, 1899. The aeroplane will never fly. Lord Haldane, 1907. There is a world market for maybe 5 computers. Thomas Watson, 1943. The atomic bomb will never go off, and I speak as an expert in explosives. Admiral William Leahy, 1944. Crazy, right? This is the secret principle that the elite 0.001% of the population use to alter their previously predetermined destiny. All reveal how you can secretly tap into the universe to create unlimited wealth, health, and abundance in your life. You'll be able to do this at will and generate real, spendable money almost at will. This technique taps into the hidden laws of the universe and works every time. It doesn't matter who you are or how old you are. What many people do not realize is that there is a storm coming. And no, I'm not talking about a hurricane. And those who are not prepared are going to get swept away and possibly not make it through alive. The truth is, we're living in some very dangerous times, and you can feel it in your gut, in your bones, that something big is coming. You can call it your sixth sense, intuition, or whatever name you wish to call it. But the truth is, we all can feel something is coming. We've seen a mysterious pandemic wreak havoc across the entire world, shutting down economies everywhere, in addition to killing hundreds of thousands of people across the globe. Everyone is wondering, when will things go back to normal? And to be perfectly honest, things may never return to normal. While most people are worried about buying the latest iPhone, the pandemic has done more than just kill several 100,000 people. It has caused levels of poverty never before seen in the third world. Nations that depend on first world countries to buy their goods, for tourism and other things, are suddenly left with nothing. The United Nations World Food Program, WFP, has warned that pandemic-related economic damage could cause starvation to increase over 100% around the world to a staggering 260 million people. You may be thinking, well, those are very poor countries. That could never happen to me. When mass layoffs happen, when businesses start to go under as stimulus money runs out, or if a second or even third wave of the virus hits, your source of income, your job, may be at risk. Many people from countries like the United States, Australia, Germany, and other wealthy countries have seen a massive surge in homelessness and poverty. Ask yourself these questions. If you lost your job today, how long would you be able to live on your savings? What if there were no other jobs you could simply go out and get after your job was lost? What would you do? If you're not prepared, or one of the lucky 1% of people in the world who are wealthy, you could be in for some very hard times, and may very well, for the first time in your life, end up losing your job, your car, your house, or even your family. Most people think that they simply have bad luck or can't control what happens to them. This couldn't be further from the truth. The information comes to you in the form of a thought. Imagine there is a question you want to know the answer to. I was able to focus on the question, and then eventually, the answer I was seeking would pop into my head as if I've known the answer all along. I came to understand through these meditative states that things like love, wealth, success, fame, intuition, and health were all directly related to your chakras and your vibrational energy signature of each. Now, if you're not familiar with what chakras are, they are essentially energy fields within your body and your soul that are tied directly with your spirit, as well as your earthly body. I discovered that one chakra in particular was directly involved with an individual's wealth, success, and what people consider luck. It's the 10th chakra, known as the root chakra. While it's true many things you do can affect all of your chakras, there is a little-known shortcut that you can use to essentially supercharge your chakras, including your root chakra. Sacred frequencies, which have close relations to sacred geometry, have the ability to amplify or even distort the vibrational energy of your chakras. Apparently, people like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and even Tony Robbins have used these wealth-amplifying techniques. Not everyone uses this knowledge for good purposes, however. The very wealthy and powerful elite do not think the same way the average person does. Nikola Tesla also had famously said, "If you wish to understand the universe, think of energy, frequency, and vibration." Clearly, he understood more about the laws of the universe than people realized, which is possibly why, at the time of his death, his hotel room where he was living was immediately raided by the US government, and all of his research was confiscated and never made public. What else is being suppressed? It's not just technology, health, and knowledge about how the universe works that is covered up or hidden. It's also knowledge about our history. There are clues all around us. For example, take a look at the pyramids in Egypt. We're taught that they were built with slave labor more than 4,000 years ago. That's interesting because some of those stones used in its construction weighed up to 100,000 pounds. When you realize it would be impossible during that era to transport such stones across those vast distances, you start to realize what you've been told isn't the whole picture. Even more confusing is that the Great Pyramid of Giza is built in the exact center of the Earth, where the longest latitude and longitude lines intersect. How would builders 4,000 years ago know where the exact center of the Earth was? The pyramids also have a system of tunnels underneath them, and several artifacts have been discovered there. These have never been shared with the public. You have to wonder what they found there, and why are they refusing to reveal it? There is evidence of suppressed information all around us, but these are just a few. You have to understand, many powerful groups do not want you to have the knowledge to be able to manifest wealth or health at will. Sometimes, these powerful secret societies will even drop clues to the unknowing public. For example, the popular show The Simpsons had an episode where the character Homer writes an equation quickly on a chalkboard. Turns out, it was the equation for the mass of the God particle, or scientifically known as the Higgs boson particle. The thing is, this wasn't actually discovered by CERN until 14 years after it aired on the show. Or when the show eerily showed this magazine cover appearing to read 9/11 back in 1997, predicting the World Trade Center disaster that happened in 2001. At first, it may look like a very, very strange coincidence. Until that is, you find out that the show's creator happens to be a 33rd degree Mason. Clearly, the elite have access to secret knowledge. I found that some groups like to either warn or telegraph events that are about to take place, which could have been happening in the show The Simpsons. What I'm starting to notice now, however, are some very alarming things about our coming future. Take, for example, this US quarter that came out the first few months of 2020. It shows, of all things, a bat on the quarter. Bats in Wuhan, China allegedly were responsible for the virus passing to humans before it spread to the rest of the world. Is the bat being featured on the 2020 US quarter before the pandemic starting a coincidence? Or was it a warning? Well, in 2019, Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, appeared in a documentary where he predicted a killer virus could originate in China's wet markets and quickly infect the entire world. What does the wealthy elite know that you do not? What do they have planned for you next, and the rest of the world? I won't go into specific details, but from what I have uncovered, it certainly doesn't look good. And if you think this pandemic is bad, what's coming next may totally shock you and turn your life upside down. So that's why it's critically important that you get prepared. The best way for you to be prepared is to be financially secure and healthy. I don't believe in accidents. I believe in free will. But I know destiny plays a role in everyone's lives. It is not your fate to have to struggle financially for your entire existence on Earth, although you may feel that way. Once you understand the principle, it is as easy to change this as it is to change a channel on a TV set. I believe everyone deserves access to all of this information. You shouldn't have to be famous, in a secret society, or fabulously wealthy in order to understand the laws of the universe. As humans, our destiny is the universe. It's where we come from, and it's where we go when we pass on. We are all entitled to understand the laws of the universe. Now, for the most part, only the very powerful and wealthy have access to it. Everyone deserves to live their life to the fullest without having to worry about money. You have the power within you at this very moment to be wealthy, successful, and happy. You'll finally be able to manifest your life of abundance, wealth, and have freedom from worry. You'll be prepared for whatever comes your way in the future, knowing that you have a large amount of money saved up in the bank and do not need to worry about whatever comes your way. It's time you started to reap the benefits.